All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto YAHWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Also want to give double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutation unto the elect of Yashala, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the hopeful elect, the Akim out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth, teaching and prophesying through the spirit of Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, in truth and sincerity, as well as the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nations, but of the nation of Israel on their father's side by blood. And just getting into it, man. I read this article, and it goes over a immigration, and this is fair use, by the way, fair use. Goes over an immigration situation that happened up in Belfast, up in Ireland, and pretty much, you know, you got people up there rioting, you know, protesting and things, and so just getting into it. You know, so I put what happened in Belfast. It says Belfast recently experienced severe anti-immigrant rioting and violence sparked by a brutal knife attack. On Monday night, a man was violently assaulted with a knife in North Belfast, suffering severe facial injuries and losing an eye. A 30-year-old Sudanese man, Hadi Aladid, was arrested at the scene and has since been charged with attempted murder. All right. So a lot of people, you know, feel some type of way about this because of the fact of it being a immigrant, of course. And it's like, here we are, we have our home, our place, our residence, our country, and you come from another country and you're doing these type of acts. And guess what? It's no different than when, you know, I think that was late, well, mid last year. You know what I'm saying? With the whole, well, it might have been early last year too. With the immigrants over here in the U.S. And at first, a lot of people was cheering the shit on. It was just up in Cali. They was targeting Hispanics, you know, and they were cheering it on for, hey, some of our people. Well, they're both our people, but some of the Negroes, you know what I'm saying? Or black people, if you will, was pretty much saying, hey, this ain't our fight, blah, blah, blah. And then it started spreading to those other cities that are populated by so-called black people. Chicago, Memphis, you know, and they were pretty much situations happening everywhere. And it just goes to show you how the tension, you know, is increasing, and they're forcing you to choose a side in a sense. All right. And what I mean by that is, just like they was attacking the Hispanics, and then they like, oh, this ain't our fight. Then, you know, they started going after you know, Negroes. All right. And yeah, this is your fight. You know, but nonetheless, it's coming to a crackdown, so to speak. You know, they pretty much want to police the world. All right. You got to think, if this is supposed to be a new world order. All right. And it's nothing but well, let's see. It's nothing but this all over again. Look, universal language, babble, and confusion. All right. Genesis 11:1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Most High, Yahweh, came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Most High said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. So it's nothing new under the sun. All right. Just as everybody was trying to come together back then, okay, and the Lord wasn't with it, he's not with it, he's not with it now. So Esau, so-called white man, trying to dominate the earth and bring everybody under one banner is not meant to be, right? Now, the funny thing about that is YAHWASHI, that's his plan, and only through him will it be, you know. When it speaks about, I believe it's in Zephaniah and Isaiah, when it speaks about the other nations and the heathen coming up to the Mount of Israel, all right, and learning our ways, okay, the laws and statutes and commandments that was given unto us will be taught to them, all right, and then the earth is going to be in a perfect balance after that, you know. But as of now, everybody have their own opinion, they have their own religion, their own beliefs. Oh, I'm not religious, I'm what the fuck they be saying, I'm a free spirit and all of that. Well, in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to keep the ways of the Israelites that was given by the Heavenly Father. All right. So let me read this last one. It says, might be a couple more. It says, and the Lord came down. It says, and the Lord said, behold, the people was one, and they have all one language. Salakia, right here. Verse 7, it says, go to, let us go down in there and confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Most High scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. You know, therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth. And that's what Babel means. It goes back to Babal, meaning confusion. That's why place is known as Babylon. It's nothing but confusion in this place. All right, here it is. The same people they're trying to kick out in these present days are the same people that was here before anybody else was here, you know. But they like to say, this is our land, this is our land, go back to where you came from. And that y'all came over here too, and y'all was not the first ones to come over here. All right, if y'all came over here and seen people here that y'all enslaved and you know, brutally violently attacked, then you were not the first people over here. You might have took the land and settled in the land, but it doesn't make it your land. All right. And that's why judgment is coming to Babylon. Part of the reason why judgment is coming to Babylon, amongst many and many things, you know, they keep the ways of Sodom and Gomorrah. They uphold that, man. All right. They what's the word? They you know, I can't think of the word right now, but they pretty much shamed the covenant that the Lord gave with the rainbow. All right, he gave it as a covenant not to flood the earth again, and they took it and have it represents an abomination, man. Okay, but getting back to it, you know, that's yeah, the world is not intended to be under one banner as Esau wants, but he has to. He got order out of chaos, order out of chaos. So this is part of the chaos. Well, I think they even say, yeah, it's crazy. You know, it says Belfast and Belfast and chaos. You know, and and what else did it say? It says, is this coming to your city next? You know, because it gives reason. You know, it gives reason. It gives people something to fight for, something to get mad about. Same as George Floyd. All right, and you even got the situation with the young dude Carmelo Anthony. How he, you know, defended himself, and they pretty much found him guilty. And then you had the other young cat 3 years ago that, you know, was chased down and gunned down by the Chinese man, but he was acquitted pretty much. He was let off, found not guilty. So these are tensions that's rising up, man. All right, it's stirring up rather. You know why? Because Well, I'll get it in a sec, but I just wanted to get chaos just to see. It says gaping void, empty, immeasurable space, abyss. That which gapes wide open, that which is vast and empty. To yawn, gape, be wide open, meaning utter confusion. There you go. That's one. Is an extended sense from theological use of chaos in the Vulgate version of Genesis for the void at the beginning of creation, the confused, formless, elementary state of the universe. You know, it wasn't it wasn't, you know, it was how the Lord needed it to be so he can create everything, right? You know, but you can put it at that. I wouldn't say it was chaos, but you can relate it to it in a sense, you know. But hey, it was like the scriptures say, it was without form, you know, and the Lord put everything in order by bringing all the elements together. All right. Let's see this. The gate, to open the mouth wide, gate. Opening in a wall, a hedge, a break, a breach, kind of. Okay. So pretty much, you know, that's a good word, you know, chaos. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of that utter confusion. So getting back into this, right? It says the unrest and riots. It says graphic footage of the attack circulated on social media, fueling a wave of far-right anti-immigrant sentiment. Groups of mass rioters took to the streets across East and North Belfast, targeting businesses, vehicles, and the homes of ethnic minorities. And that's exactly, you know, what could come of this, you know, just far as the tension building up. You know, people are getting tired. You know, the world is in chaos in a sense. Everybody being hit economically by this Straighter Hormuz situation, and that's not getting any better. There's talks, oh, we're gonna sign these papers and peace treaties, and then it doesn't happen. Oh, we gonna attack, and no, we not gonna attack. Oh, they did this, or we gonna do, and it's just a bunch of chaos. You know, and it's just got you on the edge of your seat, and there's so much going on. Now they have the World Cup involved, bread and circuses. You know, it's all bread and circuses, man. All right, but like dealing with this attack, where's that? You got Matthews 24:12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's just one attack, you know. You had with the internet, there's so many videos that you can see now with the violence that's going on throughout the earth. Not just this country or that country, but throughout the earth, man. It says, you know, and as we always get this word, it's psycho, you know. It says to breathe, blow, cool by blowing, to be made or grow cool or cold. Metaphor of waning love, right? Look up waning of the moon. Have a progressively smaller part of its visible surface illuminated so that it appears to decrease in size. Waning, disappear, decrease, diminish, dwindle. So that's what's happening to the love that's going, or that was once in the earth, man. All right, it's disappearing, it's decreasing, it's diminishing, it's dwindling away. You know, there's I watched this. I don't know, but there was this. It's like a financial. There's like a financial advisor, and she was going into people have lost the neighbor effect, you know, for lack of better words, is what I'm saying. You know, she said at a point in time, you would like move into the neighborhood and everybody would come and greet you, you know, may bring you things. You know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Hey, I'm going out of town. Can you watch over my house? or carpooling, certain things, you know, that you would do with your neighbors, right? And she was like, it just kind of went out the window when certain apps came about. So instead of you getting to know your neighbor because they might need a ride or might need help with this and that, they just, you know, call Uber, call Lyft, you know, whatever the case is. I wish I could find that video, you know, but she was saying how that's part of why you don't really have that neighborly love, so to speak. Now you be living right next to somebody and you don't even know who the hell they is. You might see them and wave and all of that, but it ain't like, you know, my kids play with your kids. Hey, we're barbecuing, come on over. You know what I'm saying? At a point of time, that was part of the culture. You know, but all of that is going out the window, man. All right? Because people are starting to get hit over the head. And people are starting to understand and see. They're starting to face reality, I would say. Through the spirit, they're starting to face reality. All right? In the form of chaos. Reality is coming in the form of chaos. All right? It's coming in the form of emptying your bank account, maxing out credit cards. I think credit cards at an all-time high usage. It says, in the present day, credit cards are the most dominant payment method, accounting for over 30% of all U.S. transactions. While they offer immense convenience, digital integration, and rewards, they have also fueled an environment of rising debt and high interest rates. Right? America has a credit card problem. The average American household holds about 11,000 and a half in card debt, according to calculations. What kills credit card scores? Let me see. Yes, U.S. credit card debt sits near an all-time high of $1.25 trillion. Driven by inflation and record high interest rates, roughly 13% of balances are now seriously delinquent, the highest rate seen since the Great Recession era, which, if I'm not mistaken, that was back in 2008. Yep, 2007, 2009, you know. Hey, that's when I kind of like got introduced to the truth. I thought it was about to pop off then. You know, here it is almost 20 years later. You know, but we at the end of that, man. You know, their time is waning. All right. But yeah, man, it's just hitting on all sides, you know. So people are getting fed up, people tired. Like I think I mentioned in another video, a guy at work, he's like, man, you know what? You know, I'm gonna call in 3 days. You know, I got something for him. I'm gonna call in 3 days. And now he talking about not even being at the job next year because of how they use him. Like, people getting burnt the hell out, man. You know, people getting burnt the hell out. All right, so that's enough. Yep. So here we go over the second Esdras 15. And I'm going to go up. You know, I was going to start more towards the point, but I want to get the part about Babylon receiving those plagues. It says, 2nd Esdras 15:10, it says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, that's America, right? We was in bondage in ancient Egypt, and we're in bondage. We were in mentally, shit still is in bondage in this Egypt, you know. But like it says in Deuteronomy 28, we will go to Egypt again with ships, all right? And represented that bondage. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So you know it's not talking about the same Egypt, and will destroy all the land thereof. Ancient Egypt all wasn't destroyed, you know, but this land mass, this America, the U.S., aka Babylon, daughter of Babylon, will completely be, you know, burned with fire, man, and become a habitation for desert creatures. All right, pursuing Isaiah the 13th chapter. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. So that's what's starting to happen. Even though Esau thinks he's doing his plan, bringing chaos throughout the world to set up his order. All right, it's ultimately the Heavenly Father just, you know, watching him and building that case on him, you know. It says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting in hell and with a fearful constellation. And that's what would happen, you know, when they would till the ground. It also, you know, that's why certain gods and goddesses was worshipped due to agriculture. All right, due to what's the word? And I'm thinking it's like right there, but pretty much, you know, worshiping those gods that they would bring increase to their crops, because that was your bread and butter, man. You know, like even though we go to the store and we're buying this produce, there's still a family that grows that, and if they don't grow it, we don't get it, you know. But that's the thing, this world is in abundance, you know. People are allowed to indulge, so you're used to buying whatever you want, you know. And if it's not there that day, you can go and talk to the manager or staff and, hey, oh yeah, we got a shipment coming in next week, boom boom. But that's gonna eventually go out the window. Also, with the people that till the ground, they're forced to use these BS seeds that the government provides. They can't use their own, you know. But also within that, the fertilizer, because of, one second. Because of the fertilizer, you know, that's being used. I mean, not being able to have access to, you know. Then you got droughts. There's many factors why these farmers aren't as successful as they used to be, you know. So, yeah, so that's part of it, man. You know, the ones that till the ground gonna mourn, their seed gonna fail. All right, it's up to YAHWASHI if it rains or not. You know, if he could have it to where it's darkness, it's just cloudy every day, you don't get no sun, you know. But you need the sun and you need that water in order for it to in order for that crop to increase, right? So it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. You know, what does woe mean? It's a variant way: misery, trouble, grief, wretchedness. And that's what's coming upon the earth: a heavy calamity, an affliction, prosperity, or adversity. All pair, you know, will. Okay, yeah, will and woe. So I guess wail would be the opposite. So yeah, that's what's coming upon the earth, man. Calamity, heavy calamity, grief, trouble, misery. All right, because people, that comfort shit is out the window. Ain't no more bounce backs like the Great Depression, the Great Recession. You know, once it go down, it's going down, man. You know, and it'll be changed. It'll be digitized. All right, and then guess what? The MOTB gonna roll in, and then prophecy is gonna accelerate. you know, Lord willing. All right. So it says, for the sword of their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And ultimately, this can be, you know, as they're going now, because what's going on over there is the officers is getting their ass whooped a little bit. It says police deploying water cannons and made multiple arrests, including teenagers, to push back the rioters and protect neighborhoods. Dozens of police officers were injured over multiple nights of unrest. So, true, they're going one against another. Then you have this racial tension that's creeping up too. Well, I ain't gonna say creeping up, increasing. You know, it's definitely been there over the years. Police brutality. You know, people being shown favor. You know, Edomites, or at least Edomite looking people. You have white people toting guns around, and ain't too much of nothing happening to them. But when a minority or an immigrant, however you want to look at it, does the same act or similar act, I would say, then all hell breaks loose. We got to take them down, you know. So that tension is definitely increasing, man. Okay. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's exactly what's happening over there, you know, as it was happening over here as well. All right. No, it's right here. You know, you can even go to Rodney King, you know, it was the 92 riots. Okay. The George Floyd situation, they was tearing shit up. All right, and that BLM, be Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Well, not to them. All right. What was I about to get? Yeah, they said the city bus was torched in East Belfast, and several immigrant families had to be rescued by the police and fire services from their burning homes. Community groups reported that addresses linked to migrants were maliciously circulated online. So they was targeting them, but hey, they get the address, they just posting it. All right. This is the type of acts that's coming to this earth, man. All right. And it's like, okay, let's calm down. They're not regarding the kings or princes. In the course of the action, so standing there, whatever they want to do and gonna do, they gonna do it, man, until it stops from being done. So if they want to torch a damn bus, they're gonna torch a bus. If they're gonna fight against the police, they're gonna fight against This is the world that we're coming to. What did it say? Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, right? And eventually, after all of this type of actions start to happen, more and more frequent, a man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. So that's gonna confirm them to bring in lockdowns, to set curfews, to set borders and boundaries. All right. They will be justified. That's the word. You know, it'll justify them to bring in more drastic measures to get all of the chaos in order. You know, order ab chaos. All right. Now, even though that's up in Ireland, you know, and with that situation though, you know, it's that's why I like the fact that it said, is this coming to your city next? You know? And that's what it is. You just gotta things might die down, or there might be, well, there is so much going on. You know, it's kind of hard to just focus on one thing, but through the spirit of YAHWASHI, that's why we are the watchmen. You know, that's our job. We got to be on that tower, be checking the news everywhere, see what's going on with the MOTB, see what's going on with the seditions among men, see what's going on with wars and rumors of wars. All right, see what's going on with the famine, pestilence, and sword, so on and so forth, man. Okay. So just wanted to get into that. All right. You know, the love of many continue to wax cold. It continue to wane. It continue to decrease. All right. And nothing's getting better. And, you know, we at the end of the end of the end, man. Okay. So put your seatbelt on. but that doesn't mean that it's going to prevent you from falling off. All right. So with that, Lord willing, you was edified, and Lord willing, we allowed to endure unto the end. Once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.